for you? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we are going to begin this morning with Mike. Yay, Mike.
Yes. And good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. And thank you for joining us in this spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy and science of the mind we know as God. And with our spiritual presence and our participation in the service this morning, we create a higher state of consciousness, rise above any negative energy that we may have experienced this past week, and manifest love. Our Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson and Master Teacher has been keeping us informed this past week and will now proceed with our service. Reverend?
All right. Thank you, Mike. Glad to see you back in home. I think last week you were out driving.
Yes, I was. Sure was.
I'm glad you got back home safely. All right.
Thank you.
Let us begin by turning within and acknowledging that right where we are, right here, right now, we are in sacred space. Take a deep breath in and release. Let it go, relaxing into this moment. Your breath brings you into the present. It aligns you with the presence of God within. And right where you are is holy ground. For as a spiritual being, everywhere you are, everywhere I am, is holy ground. We walk in the world as holy beings. And so as we open up this morning, our conscious awareness to this truth, we are aligned with something greater, more magnificent, more expansive than we have ever even imagined. For the Spirit of God cannot be contained. And so we just simply allow ourselves to be in this moment, to feel that peace of the divine that is who and what we are. We feel our bodies and know that they are rooted in this world in such a way that it enlivens every step that we take. And so we are grateful this morning for our awakening, for the breath of life breathing through us and in us and as us. We are grateful today that we can see and hear and fully and completely embrace the awareness of who and what we are. And so as we begin today, we do so as a community of love, of joy, with that sense of knowing that each and every one of us is in our right place at the right time with the right people. And we are that community that is growing and blossoming and becoming all that it can possibly be as Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. And so with great gratitude and thanksgiving that I open myself this day to this truth as I welcome our guest speaker and our guest singer, and know that they too are uplifted into that space of divine expression that allows them to express the very highest and greatest and best of themselves. And so with gratitude and thanksgiving for this, and knowing it is already done, I release this word now and know it is done. It is fulfilled. For it is the law unto the word in which I am speaking. And so it is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so this morning we have two guests. We have Kristen is going to be doing our music, and we've had her before. And you know, Reverend Barbara Leger has also been with us before, and she's going to be our guest speaker today. And so we are all in for a great treat. I am in the midst of a 3-day workshop, and so I'm going to be leaving you shortly, but I'll be here for a few minutes. And it is good to see Ken. Where are you, Ken? He was on the screen a little while ago, but it was good to see you. I'm so glad that you're up and around and healthy and looking good. So he had surgery a few weeks ago. Okay. Chris, good to see you. Chris wasn't feeling so great either. He had his he got his COVID shot and wasn't feeling so well last week. So, and Eileen, you're sitting up this week. I saw saw your little head down there last week. So it's good to see you guys. And Madeline, all the way from the West Coast, welcome. It's great to see everybody today. So we will begin with, let's see, Kristen. Oh no, Marcia.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's all come together and focus in on CSL West Georgia's vision and mission statement. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. And our declaration of principles: I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. There is one life of which I am a part, one intelligence which I use, and one substance which takes form as my life. And so it is.
Okay, Kristen, take it away.
Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be with you all. Thanks for having me again, and great seeing all you guys in virtual Landia in there. It's good to see all your faces. Well, I'm going to share a song I wrote this morning, and I want to say happy first day of spring. Spring has sprung. Yay! But I'm going to do this song for you. It's called Forgive, Forget. And if anybody have heard of Ho'oponopono, it's an ancient Hawaiian ritual or ancient Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness. And forgiveness is good at any and all times. And it's always a great prayer to say. And it basically, if you're not familiar with it, I recommend Googling it. I'll just tell you what it's four statements. I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And these four statements are very powerful statements with the intention behind it. If you're going through any sort of troubles or challenges, which we all face, with relationships or regarding to your health or whatever it is, it's good to heal that and to forgive yourself and to forgive the situation with those four statements, which is Ho'oponopono. And so I wrote a song that incorporated this into it as part of my own therapy. Because what more powerful way than to speak the power of the word, right? But also to sing the power of the word. So this is basically prayer in song called Forgive, Forget. My mama told me some days are gonna break your heart, but it's up to you where you go from there. You see, we get to choose to pick up the pieces and mend them back together again. Pieces of you, pieces of me, stitched together with love, busting at the seams. Don't let them make you hold it in. The love inside that's yours to give. Cause what you see as broken dreams is another man's best that he could be. Forgive me while I try to forgive, forget. Let bygones be bygones. In the end, it is said you'll never regret where time goes when you live each moment as if it were the last. Stop living in the past. Time passes in a glance. Forgive, forget. Let bygones be bygones. In the end, it is said you'll never regret where time goes when you hold the ones you love the most so close. Say I love you, let them know you'll never let them go. sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, oh, I love you. I am sorry, please, please forgive me. Because what I saw was broken dreams, was just another man's best that he could be. Forgive me, forgive me. So forgive, forget, let bygones be bygones. In the end it is said, you'll never regret where time goes when you live each moment as if it were the last. Stop living in the past. Time passes in a glance. Forgive, forget, let bygones be bygones. In the end it is said, you'll never regret where time goes when you hold the ones you love the most so close. Say I love you, let them know you'll never let them go. Forgive, forget, let bygones be bygones. In the end it is said, you'll never regret where time's gone. When you live each moment as if it were the last. Stop living in the past. Time passes in a glance. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. So perfect. Yes, we do have to stop living in the past, right? If we are living in the present, we are not living in the past. And we have to be conscious and paying attention to do that. So thanks. And that prayer is online. So go look it up. It's a great prayer to actually go to bed at. Go to bed with. You know, I mean, before you go to sleep, you know, forgiving and letting go. Okay, so this morning our reader is Barbara. Did they say you were going to read too? Sandy?
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, Sandy, who's reading?
I can have it.
I understood it was Barbara.
Right, I have it, so I'll read it.
Yeah, I've got it. If you want me to read it.
Yeah, let Sandy read it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart.
Out Sue.
Yeah, well, wow. That just, you know, just listening to that is just kind of makes you be peaceful. Yeah. So Reverend Barbara and I have been friends for a very long time, probably over 20 years.
Mm.
And she was out in Ukraine. She always asked me to come out and do some teaching in Ukraine. I never got out there.
It's not too late. You can still come.
Eventually, I will eventually. But anyway, she's back here in the States now, and she has been so wonderful. And she's worked with our board on getting us through the beginning planning stages of moving to our new space. And she's here today. She's going to help us continue to build community. And I appreciate her being able to stand in for me and do not only an admirable job, but an excellent job. I want you to know I never ask anybody to speak for me who can't do a better job than me. Okay? So you're in for a real treat. All right. All right. I will see you all next week. Have a great one and enjoy Reverend Barbara. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Sandra, thank you so much. Well, I couldn't do it better than her, really. I don't think so. Because she's the one who does it, I think, the best. She's just, Reverend Sandra has an amazing way of being in the moment with whatever is going on in the world or her life or in the community or wherever, bringing it back to principle. I mean, she brings it back to principle in such an easy, loving way. Oh my goodness. So, it's great that I don't have to fly to West Georgia every weekend to go. I mean, I would love to go to Savannah. I heard some of that conversation. I would love to go there and, God willing, will sometime. But right now, some of the blessings of our Zoom world are so precious that we get to visit each other and get to know people we would never know otherwise. And not only that, we see it up close and personal, because we see the nuances that happen on each other's face. When Kristen said this morning, I'd like to share a song that I wrote for you this morning, I went, oh my word, now isn't that just something? And I mean, not only the confidence to be able to do something you just wrote, but the ability to write it. And then that song, I mean, to have us all in tears before we even start is really something, Kristen. It's really something. And who amongst us does not have things to forgive or things we wish they would forgive us for? I mean, really, we all, that is a leveler. So anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, anywhere on the screen, that's something that brings us together. And and I love the reading, the Lao Tzu reading, because it puts the onus right where it belongs, right on us. We cannot have what we are not. Or to say it in a science of mind way, anything we are can be experienced. If we can imagine it, we can experience it. When we believe it, wild horses can't keep it away. And the role that forgiveness plays and I hadn't thought about this for today's talk, but the role that forgiveness plays comes into the talk today when I talk about Michelangelo. So listen for that, and I'll remember because I'll come back to it. I'm really happy to be here with you. I have been in Ukraine for almost 20 years, and I've learned much more than I've experienced and received much more than I've given. And you probably have moments or places or experiences or times in your life where you thought you were going to give. You were the leader, or you were sharing, or you had some gift to give. And life turns around and shows you that that gift to give got you open to receive. It got you in a place where there was so much more than you could have imagined, right? And so that was my experience, and is my experience with Ukraine. My interpreter, who had traveled with me in 7 years when I was working in the Soviet Union and Russia, Grisha, said to me, in my first week in Ukraine, how nice it is you came here to teach us about peace and love. It would be really great if you had some. Like, really? I thought I had a lot. I thought that's why I was here. I thought I was here to give all this stuff that I had. Well, golly, you know what? I had the right intentions, and I had the willingness, and I had the courage, and I had the technical tools, and I had the mental understanding. But I wasn't living it in my everyday life yet when I went there. Do you know what I'm talking about? And, there's no wrong in that, because if we don't have the tools, if we don't have the willingness, if we don't have the courage, if we don't have the technical capacity, and we don't have the mental equivalent, we will never live it. I mean, that's how it works. So wherever we are on the journey is just the perfect place. We don't get to be masters at anything, which I don't know if I'll make in my lifetime anywhere, but it's practice. Beethoven, well, there's a few prodigies, who woke up and started writing symphonies. Most people have to learn the scales. And then they have to put their two hands together. And then they have to not think about their hands. And then they have to just trust what their fingers do. And they have to, practice until it is so natural they don't need to think about it. That's the same in any field. Imagine the brain surgeon on the first time. Imagine what that feels like. You train, you're in medical school for hundreds of years, and and you've got all this debt, and you've got all this pressure, and now you're going to do your first surgery. Oh my goodness. You walk into the classroom for the first time, or you have that baby and you hope you're not going to drop it. Or, in any in any place you look, it's the same. We have to start where we are. And all of us are, if we act like we're not scared at all, that usually means we're hiding a big pile in the back corner there. We're all scared. Soldiers going into battle, they have to know it's their duty and their job. Mike, you know this, and you know that this is what you're here to do, and you're going to do it. But that doesn't mean you don't have fear. It doesn't mean you might not worry. What you learn in the training is what to do with that fear, what to do with that worry, how to feel the fear and do the job anyway. And, along the way of this life journey, the hero's journey, which is what we're all on. Otherwise, we'd be out playing golf. Well, we can't play golf now. That would be close to each other, but we'd be out doing something else. Going to the refrigerator, as a lot of us have been doing for a year. I saw a really cute cartoon the other day, and it said, I have to get extra masks for the kitchen. So, we just got to be where we are, and we have to give it our best. And whether we're just getting onto the path of peace, which is really my work, is really about peace, which means that every day I get to see where I don't have it. When your work is about excellence in some way, you must be attuned to where that excellence is not showing up. If you think you can just suddenly be excellent and not notice where you're not, it's not going to work. I mean, we have to know where we're headed and where we are in order to be on this journey of transformation. We can't, the old song, do you know the way to San Jose? Well, the way to know the way to San Jose, which is where I met Reverend Sandra, she was scary to me because she was so good. She was my teacher and in ministerial school. And I used to be like terrified. She would just tell it like it is, or call you on your stuff. And she would do it in a loving way. She was never mean, but I was not confident. I was not like Kristen, writing the song, waking up, writing it, singing it for us. I didn't have it. I had it here, but I didn't have it here. So this journey is, we just got to love ourselves more while we're on this journey. We've just got to notice when we're not feeling fantastic, or when we're being more irritable than usual, or going to the fridge too often. We just got to notice that with compassion and not with judgment. We have to be gentle with ourselves and forgive ourselves for straying a little bit off the path we have set for ourselves and say, that's all right, honey. Come on. Let's just start over. Let's just do it again differently. And so I just love being required by my chosen purpose in life, have to notice these things. And I don't always love it in the moment. Yesterday, I got kind of really irritated. And it's not a story I'm going to tell you, but I noticed it. So then I called my ex-husband back and said, that's really not what I wanted to say. Is I don't want to be like that with you. I'm sorry. You know, one of my favorite lines in a opening, the opening line of a book can really be so juicy. And one of my, just like when Kristen started that song, she said, Mama told me. That was the first line of the song. Remember that? Mama told me. And like everybody sits up. It's like, because our mamas have all told us stuff, right? She had me with Mama told me. Because that's a universal connector. Oh, God, life is so amazing. It just gives us these opportunities to connect no matter what. So I'm going to ask someone to give me a 5-minute warning because I can forget. I can lose all sense of time. So who's going to do that for me? Because I've already probably spent half of my time preambling to it. But I just love being here and I love sharing this journey with you. Last week, first of all, the theme for this month, as you know, is open to possibilities. And last week, Reverend Sandra did this masterful thing like a teacher would do. It's like go to the dictionary, go to the Latin, find the root, find the root, find the root. Go to the essence. And in fact, in this case, the essence was the word essence, which was so wonderful. And so if we talk about open to possibilities, a lot of people, depending on your life, would say, well, that's just, there's no things don't happen. That's just wishing. A lot of people don't believe in possibilities. And if you don't believe in them, you're not going to experience them. You're going to experience the other shoe falling. You're going to experience all the things you believe instead. And so I invite you, if when you hear this theme, open to possibilities, or it's all possible, I invite you to notice what your response is. Don't hide that part of yourself from yourself. Because in my way of working, get on the path of peace, sometimes we get there through stumble stones, not stepping stones. Sometimes we have to stumble into ourselves or into something to realize that we're not on course. We have to stumble into somebody else who's telling us how hard life is or how terrible they are or how much we should protect ourselves from them or how awful it is out there. And when we stumble into that, we have to notice so we can choose. Is this where I want to go? Do I want to follow that narrative? Do I want to believe that? How do possibilities happen? They happen based on what we believe, what we pay attention to, what we listen for. And so the talk title today is With Open Arms. Well, what am I welcoming? Am I welcoming all the woes of the world? Do I need to feel like my story is more painful than yours? Do I need to feel better than you? What is it? When we allow ourselves to feel that response to what life is saying, is like, honey, my mama told me that it's all going to be okay. Right? I remember the moment I realized I was about 45, maybe, or 50, when I realized one day that I had been, when my kids were little going to school, I would tell them to be careful because they had to cross this busy street and, walk to school. And every morning I'd say, right, have a great day, be careful. And I thought, just like my mother thought when she told me things that got in my head and worked against me, I thought I was being a good mom, just reminding them to, be careful when they get to the corner of that road. Those messages get in our heads that our mama told us. They're all designed for her to help us, but they aren't all helpful. But if you've gotten a message that isn't helpful, like I got a few, most of us do, I got a lot of great ones too. And so we have to shift our attention from the ones that give us possibilities we'd really like to experience, as opposed to possibilities that really we've had enough of already, or we don't want, that aren't healthy for us. Because the law does not discriminate. The law gives us what we believe. You don't have to be rich or thin or young or living in the right state or in the right kind of house or have the right relationship or drive the right car. None of that stuff matters. The law of life. The law of life just says, your wish is my command. God follows us around doing what we say we want. Really. And God is also life, the eternal consciousness, whatever word you use. That's the love. The love that says all is possible. And what portion of that possibility we claim for ourselves, that's the portion we get. We don't get what we want, we get what we are. And we can't have more than we are. We can want more. We can see more. We can think we believe more. But if we don't have more, if we don't have what we want, we just have to have the courage to look at ourselves. And that's what this spiritual practice is. It's not just to celebrate how great we are, which is true. We are great. We're born from greatness for greatness, from love for love, from peace for peace, from beauty for beauty. We must see and forgive ourselves our transgressions. Anyway, but that's a transgression a little bit. So when we know that all life is possible, the real work on the spiritual journey. So I call the spiritual journey the path of peace. And my whole life has transformed, in the past 20 years, but in the past 3 months, I have released the um, ministry that I started and the organization that I started in Ukraine, and it is now in the hands of the practitioners that I trained. It wasn't entirely harmonious, and it had some little wrinkles and everything else, as sometimes transition and transformation have, but it was definitely the answer to prayer. We all needed to take the next steps, and we have. And since then, I've created a focus ministry called Golden Path of Peace. And in that process, I've really explored, what is this journey about? And I've realized that there is perfection, there is ultimate possibility, there is the field of opportunity. I call it the path of peace. There are stepping stones to it, which are principles and practices like kindness and compassion. And how do we get to be peaceful? We don't just wake up and decide we're going to be. We start practicing these little ways: caring, compassion, kindness, courtesy, respect, responsibility, accountability. These things, they reshape us. To create those things, we need to face our limitations. We have to face the messages that we heard that we took the wrong way or we took too seriously about be careful. We have to adventure a little bit. We have to express ourselves even when people we think don't want to hear from us. Or, I just painted my house this summer and there was a color I wanted. And it was this rich golden color. And my neighbors and my kids, they all said, "Oh, that's pretty bright." And I went, "Yeah." And I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't paint it that way because their houses are all, beige and green and, these casual colors. And my color was a sochny mochny, as we say in Ukraine, juicy, powerful color. I tried so hard not to paint the house that color. I have all these palettes and these pieces of wood that I've tried all these colors on. But ultimately, praise heavens, I picked the color I wanted and I did it. I expressed myself. Now, I've been practicing that for years. It doesn't happen without practice. It doesn't happen without learning to trust your inner self. It doesn't happen without taking the journey on those stepping stones to the path of peace and hitting a stumble stone here and there. Because that stumble stone can get you to make the choice to get on a stepping stone. That stumble stone is information that says, "Honey, you're being too critical." Or, "Wait a second, that's an old habit. You don't need to do it like that anymore." Those stumble stones are wake-up calls. Say, "Is this who I want to be?" So that we can take responsibility and say, "No, I want to be a kind and loving person." Well, then call them back and say you're sorry. Yeah, right. So, in order to have possibilities, we have to believe in them. And then we have to take the step to get into the journey. And for many of us, it's a crisis that puts us onto that choice to change our life. I had a terrible crisis. I ruptured a disc in my back and I couldn't walk for a year. I was in bed and I had to learn to stand up and I had to learn to walk again. I lost my business and my house and everything else. That was a big stumble stone. And it felt like hell. And I was sure it was not right until I realized, that I was changing because of it and that I was moving in a new direction of possibility I'd only ever dreamt about because I had to. And so now I walk every day and I walk in the light. I walk in the light. That's what I say to myself when I walk because it's true, because I have changed my experience. And so, the divine pattern is always calling us. And it calls us when we notice that we're not what we want. Don't begrudge that. Say, "Wow, thanks for that insight. I see myself." Do the thing Reverend Sandra did last week about honing it down to the essence. You will find that possibility is because that there is inherent in us. This thing lives within. Peace is not a destination. It is a personal quality. It is a natural part. It's a principle within each of us, anywhere in the world. So, I remember that, Michelangelo, being the famous sculptor that he is, he had a quote that I really love. And he said, every block of stone. So have you hit these blocks of stone where you feel like, "Oh no, I'm not ever going to," he said, every block of stone has an angel within it. And it's the task of the sculptor to discover it. And so he would take away all that wasn't that vision he saw. He would remove all the things that weren't it so that it could be born. But it was born, so it could be seen. And that's what peace is. And God knows our world wants peace today, right? But if there's going to be peace in the world, there has to be peace in the heart. So it starts with us. And every time we're not that which we want to experience, that's a stumble stone saying, "Hey, honey, come on, wake up a little more. Check it out. You're behaving in a way that's going to get you somewhere you don't want to go. Just knock it off." or just say, oh, gee, I'm sorry, or ask for support. Talk to a practitioner, listen to a song, take a class. So we're in a community, and this path to peace ultimately requires that we respond to the situation that we're in with responsibility. Community is this thing that we do on purpose. We do this so that we can feel like-mindedness around us. It feels good to look at each other and know each other, right? To share classes, to believe that we're all on this journey together. But community isn't an accident. Community is a choice. It's a responsibility. It's a gift that gives to you and you give to it. And it's our job to circulate so that we share, we show up, we volunteer, we do the reading, we manage the Zoom calls, we send the money, we listen to each other, we call and say, is there anything I can do? We look at each other and we say, wow, you're looking so great today. It's so nice to see your face, as Sandra did when she was welcoming you, because that's the joy of community, is growing together. It's about growing together. Spiritual leadership for the board and the practitioners and the volunteers, that's about spiritual growth. Because when you're put in or you choose a leadership position, it means you're ready to ante up. You're ready to up level. You're going to go from sergeant to master sergeant. You're going to take a new level of responsibility because it matters. Because you can. And we think that because we're on Zoom, where community is harder. It, it's nice to feel people. That's true. It's nice to be in the aura of each other and hug. Oh my gosh, aren't we all a little bit open for more hugs? But if we look at these faces here that are smiling and feeling this joy of being together today, we know that we're creating community with every time we serve it or let it serve us. It deepens. And so what kind of community we want is up to us. We can all be Michelangelo. As we're looking to move to our next place, we can see that as a possibility in a block of stone, and we can start taking away what doesn't serve that community and start contributing to what does. And that's the power of visioning. And I know a lot of you have taken visioning class and you've done visioning. Visioning is this dance with the infinite. Visioning is courting the divine. Visioning is a deeper walk with whatever you call God. And it starts with, what is the greatest possibility known to the infinite presence? And listen. And even if you don't believe it, write it down. And then you ask yourself, what do I have to let go? What part of that rock do I need to chip away? What do I need to let go so that that vision is possible? And then start doing the releasing work, which Reverend Sandra talked about last week. And it's life work. Let those stumble stones get you onto a stepping stone and ask yourself, what must I embrace? I need to be a kinder person. I don't need to know it all. I need to listen more. I want to be a kinder person. And then the fourth question is, what if God could speak to me? So I've just started this program called Peace Talks. It's every Friday at noon Pacific time. If you want to know about it, I'll send the information on to Reverend Sandra. Join, it's free for an hour. Peace Talks. Well, what is peace talking about? What would peace say if peace could talk to you? You pick a situation in your life. What would peace say to you? What kind of conversation are you talking with? What's the narrative you and peace have? We divine ideas. We live in an unlimited life. That, as Reverend Roger Keel says in his great book. He's got a wonderful book called Life is Joy. What he says about possibilities, locked inside every problem are possibilities hankering to get out. Every problem is an opportunity of some sort. Just like the two sides of the coin are always present, always a complement to each other, so is a problem always united with an eventual solution. So if you're hitting a stumble stone, just know that the other side of it is a stepping stone, or right next to it, and get on that stepping stone. Children much more easily learn some of these big lessons when they're 5 and 6. When you teach them, I'm finding in Ukraine that 7-year-olds are talking about the biggest subjects in the world easily, and they know the answers. Why? They have less to carve away. They're less indoctrinated than we are. They're more open to this infinite possibility. They haven't learned all this be careful stuff. Their minds are open. They know life is meant to be peaceful. They know that the golden rule is the best governing system in the world. They all know how the golden rule works. And when you invoke it and say, well, could you settle the grievance you just had with your friend with the golden rule? Yeah, I could go and say, I want to treat you the way I want you to treat me. I'm sorry I yelled at you, or I'm sorry I did that. Everybody in the world knows the golden rule. So, I love working with these kids because they have less to chip away. They're more already aligned, and they're the seeds of the future. And we are the people who must change enough to really believe in that future of full possibility again, where the world lives in peace. It's our birthright, and we must never lose sight. Impossible, you say? That will just never be? No, yes, it is possible through you and through me. This world needs more than our stress and all of that, trying to cope with that stress. This world needs our vision, our hope to lift up each day. And release and let go of the things that say it just won't happen. And step into this way of peace. It's our birthright. Don't lose sight of this. It's where you are. It carries you. And it is the angel within our lives. It is the perfection that calls us forward. And so let's be teachable as children. Just step into that part of us that knows and knows that it knows. Anything is possible. It's the essence of our life. I'm so grateful to know this and to have the courage and the willingness and the dedication and the humility to see how wrong I can be and how much I'm attached to my way in order to get back on the stepping stone of being a kind person and letting the children remind me. I'm grateful to be with you today. I thank you for allowing me to let this unfold in my heart for you. And nobody gave me time, but I'm going to just stop because I'm sure it's past the moment. So, blessed be, and be that what you want. Just be it no matter what. Paint it gold. Let it be this golden opportunity. Say yes to life. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Barbara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That touched my heart. Thank you so much. Kristen, it is your turn to bless us once again. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was amazing and everything I needed to hear. So this is a little tune I wrote called Focus on the Light. So that's all that we can do, right? Is focus on the light and be the light and share the light. Despite everything, or not despite, but in just be the light. Words, they sometimes get in the way. Nothing understand, won't hear a word you say. Take a breath, just be still. In that moment, say a prayer. Have some faith that peace is on its way. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. When the distance seems too far to bear the fall, and you don't know how you'd ever make it at all. When that fog starts creeping in, time to start remembering you're a child of God. It's time to rise above. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Going in for a heart to heart, but it feels like you're living worlds apart. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. Have some faith that love is on the way. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light, focus on the light. Focus on the light. Thank you guys.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Kristen, thank you so much. We always so enjoy when you come. I'll speak for myself. Thank you very much. It truly just touches me. This is a great Sunday. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Thank you so much, Kristen, and thank you again, Reverend Barbara. So, all right, I got to get myself together. I did remember to put the links in the chat window before I got started today. So this is our time and to come together and become one consciousness in the topic of giving. And, I love to share with you guys all the many ways that you can support CSL West Georgia. If you would like to do a PayPal donation, you may do that. That link is in the chat window. It is also in the newsletter that you receive. And just going to jump right here and just remind you that if you are a PayPal donator, then if you'd like to just make it a seamless operation and just check off the monthly donation box, that is your option to do so. Somebody, ZZ mentioned, said, you know what? I just wish there was a way that I could just schedule it. I'm like, well, there is a way. So if you would like to do that and just schedule it, then that little box will help you out. And if you feel more comfortable in sending a check, we do have a mailing address. It's on the screen, it's in the chat window, and it also shows up in your newsletter. And yeah, Amazon, love, you could tell, love shopping at Amazon. Makes it so easy. If you are like me and you use the service of Amazon.com, they have a charitable giving program. And all you have to do is connect with our center through the Amazon Smile program. And then the only other thing you need to do, instead of just going to Amazon.com, you go to smile.amazon.com and Amazon takes it from there. They take the amount that you have spent with them and send a portion of that with our to our ministry. So just consider that option as well. So I'm going to do a double click and bring us together with our giving affirmation. Just center in. I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, my community, and my world. And so it is. And Reverend Sandra asked me to go ahead and do a couple of announcements. Whoop, why is that on the closing video already? Okay, so I get to say it without showing it. Let me see if I can bring it up and show it. We have our class, our foundations class that is starting up. Oh, it's not showing. That's why. Let me kind of go ahead and show this. We have our foundations class that is starting up next Sunday. And let me screen share that screen. And it's going to be starting next Sunday. And it goes for a few Sundays from 12:30 to 3:30. And if you would like to sign up to that class, go ahead and send an email to CSL West Georgia at gmail.com. If you're curious about it, just go ahead and attend the first class because it will give you a lot of information. Then you can make a decision from that point. So let me stop screen sharing because I was told that Miss Ajika would like to share her experiences with the class. And I see she's turned on her camera and her microphone, so she's ready to go ahead and just share her wisdom of what she experienced the last time when she took the foundations course. Good morning, Ajika.
Good morning, beautiful sunshine. Thank you so much. And thank you to Reverend Barbara and to Kristen for the beautiful singing and the message this morning. And thank you to everyone who's here today. Wow, the Foundations course, it is excellent. I am but a babe and new to Science of the Mind. And, I had truckloads of questions. And, I really am hard pressed and focused on doing the work. At the time I took this course, I didn't fiscally have it together because I wasn't working, and it was just like, Reverend Sandra, she's like, take the course, Cookie. So I took the course, and I say all that to say this: that it's exactly what you need to do. And for those of you who've already taken the course, if you've got a minute, even if you don't have a minute, pop into those courses and just reconnect. We worked on so many things. For me, I've got it right over here. My relationship with God and just being real and honest with myself, journaling, listening, working on and learning about the creative process, how to do a treatment. I'm still working on on these things, and I review back over the course material. So it's just key and focus to being closer to consciousness, closer to working on your spirit, and just learning all the various principles and things to put into practice. So the key crux and point in taking this course is for your own personal growth and development. And I'm still growing and developing. So, you know, I always pull out my good goodies to refer back to. So, I mean, this course is ongoing. It's 10 weeks, and it's invaluable. I really, and the way Reverend Sandra teaches it. Hello, good night in the morning. Take the class. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna put that on, you know, just send that video out. That was a great testimony. Thank you so much. You awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you out of town now, Ajika?
I am here, but I am leaving because I've got family in Wichita, Kansas, who they're having issues, and I'm going to Chicago. And my sister's coming from Kenya. And then, to sum all of that, I've got my second vaccination coming up for the COVID, and then I'm off to Afghanistan. So just much love to everybody.
Okay, all right.
Right? I can't keep.
She's on the move, Ajika. On the move. Like, we're gonna, instead of where in the world's Carmen San Diego, where in the world is Ajika?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again for sharing your testimony on that. So again, Reverend Sandra said that before she had to go, she said, remind everybody that if you are on the fence, you're not sure, you're like, is this going to be for you? Come to the first class next Sunday, and then you'll be able to, you know, take it from there. And I see, Barbara, you unmuted. So what would you like to add to that?
I would just say that there's nothing more fundamental than learning the foundational root of this teaching, and then to develop the skills of how to use it. And this class does both of those things, and it's an investment, and a 30-hour investment in yourself will fuel you and your journey for the rest of your life. I started with that class having no idea why, but it's led me to the most amazing life, which I never could have planned, ever. This class gave me the courage, the clarity, the practice, the principles. I mean, really, it's an investment in yourself. Absolutely. And in the community, because as we learn together, we grow together. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
She's a master teacher. This is a gift. This is a gift.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So there it is. And Reverend Barbara did say that it's an investment, but don't let the monetary part of the class scare you, because Reverend Sandra already said that they will work something out. So she's more concerned with raising the consciousness. So definitely, if you have any questions, send an email. You know, if you want to sign up, send the email. So there it is. The last thing that Reverend Sandra wanted me to mention is that the members, you guys received an email from CSL West Georgia last Sunday, about 5:30. And in it had that affirmations PowerPoint slideshow and a link to the YouTube video, I Release and I Let Go. She just asked that please just read through it and continue reading daily so that we can be, as a community, working through those affirmations as we move forward into our new physical space. On that note, if all minds are clear, are there any other announcements that we need to make? Okay, well then I do have one closing video. Reverend Barbara sent a link to her children in the Ukraine as our closing. So I'm going to get that all queued up, and I can't wait. I saw the thumbnail and I was like, I can't wait for that. So here we go. Let's see. Oops.
And it's about 3 minutes, so you can close it out when you need to.
Okay. All right. There we go.
It's so wonderful. These are kids that have a possibility because of our teaching.
Awesome.
Ми малюєм на вікні, світ такий же, як і наш. Ми малюєм на вікні, акварелі і гуаші. світлі ми візьмем, сірий колір зафарбуєм і країну сонячну без печалі намалюєм. Де усмішки кожен день і весна цвіте завжди, де у всіх людей теплі щирі погляди, хтось шукає цілий вік, де ти щастя, ось воно, здравствуй, добрий мандрівник, подивись в моє вікно, ти подивись на моїм вікні, ми малюєм добрий світ, там, де горя сліз нема. Ти подивись, ми малюєм світ, там, де щастя не дріма, світ, який потрібен всім. Ми малюєм новий світ, ти уважно роздивись, ми малюєм новий світ, перехожий озирнись. Якщо треба у житті дещо трохи поміняти, світ, який захочеш ти, можеш тут намалювати. Де усмішки кожен день і весна цвіте завжди, де у всіх людей теплі щирі погляди, хтось шукає цілий вік, де ти щастя, ось воно, здравствуй, добрий мандрівник, подивись в моє вікно, ти подивись на моїм вікні, ми малюєм добрий світ, там, де горя сліз нема. Ти подивись, ми малюєм світ, там, де щастя не дріма, світ, який потрібен всім.
Reverend Barbara, so what were they singing?
They were singing a song about look, the window might look cloudy, but look clearly through it and see the light and the brightness that we are. And it's about the joy of life. It's about all those stepping stones that we're teaching them, and this was our first project. That was our first in the public school education project called the Understanding Peace Program, and we reached 1,500 kids that first 10-week program. And we have it in 3 different counties in Ukraine, and we're headed to the Ministry of Education, where it's going to become part of the school curriculum, because wholeness education for the whole child is really important now. And we are bringing these teachings in a very secular, non-religious way to the public school system in Ukraine. It is an absolute possibility that I've dreamed of that is coming true.
Fabulous.
It's an extraordinary experience.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Thanks for allowing me to. It's
Oh.
great. That's how peace happens.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Openness and awareness.
Yeah, it's an awareness.
Awesome. All right, all. Let's come in together with our closing affirmation. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in this world. Only good comes from us. Only good goes from us, and only good comes to us. And so it is. Okay, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your week. Have a great week. Thank you so much, Kristen. Thank you so much, Reverend Barbara. Fabulous. Great Sunday. Thank you.